Hi, I'm Garnbreak1, and this is Midgardia RPG's cool crowdfunding show. I'm here today with the team behind Eldritch Century. How's it going, guys?
Great, great. Thank you very much. My name is Renato Escalante. I am the brand and design director.
And I'm Alastor Guzmán. I'm the lead RPG developer.
Cool. So why don't you guys tell me a little bit about your project?
Sure. Eldritch Century started about a year and a half ago. We started developing the lore, and like many other people, we were just a group of friends who used to play other RPGs until we decided to make our own adventure, our own universe. So we started developing the lore, and then we started developing the design, the brand, and much of the art, the concept art. Afterwards, we decided to, when we had something like a little bit more solid, we decided to make to manufacture our own miniatures on resin and 3D printing. So we made a Kickstarter campaign about a year ago, about October, and we Kickstarter campaign. There were only the miniatures on the characters we developed, and it was a successful campaign. It was small but successful, and now this campaign is already fulfilled. Afterwards, we started developing other games here at Draco, and now we decided to take it to the next step. We are developing the RPG rules. Alastor worked a lot on the system, and we designed the starter set of the adventures, and now the core book, which is the big adventure, is the campaign we have right now. Fortunately, it has been fulfilled already, but we are still making a bigger stretch goals and bigger rewards, and we are really happy that we're making this project all together.
Awesome. So Eldritch Century runs on some kind of variant of the classic fantasy game 5th edition engine, right? Why don't you guys tell me a little bit about what you've done to that?
The system is based on the 5th edition rule set. It's actually fully compatible. You can use the monster stats. You can even use the powers and the different abilities. Just, for example, exchange sneak attack for one of the options we have, for example, or bardic inspiration for any of the other options. But what we wanted to develop with the rule system was to make it a more. We wanted to develop three important things. One, a more streamlined and with a focus on the background of the characters for the character creation. In this case, because since it's like this is like a full world with different factions, and in order to be playing the world, I don't want to be playing the world and enjoying it. You need like to have a little background of each of your factions. So the idea is in this system, you choose your faction and then you start doing similar to the life path system, where you have different choke points where you have to take a decision. And this decision point will eventually take you toward your final character and will say which abilities you have access, if there are any paths that you can take. For example, in order to be part of the Minerva Initiative, which is a secret organization that lives in the Eldritch Century, you have to take certain decisions that takes you toward the Minerva Initiative path, because it's like a secret society that you have to fight first. The second biggest change is in the magic, in the power system. In this case, normally in 5th edition, the casters has like the spell slots, and they have very predefined slots for predefined effects for their magics. Like Fireball can only do a Fireball, 66 of damage, and that's it. We wanted to do it a little more inventive or creative for people that likes to improvise on their own. More similar to the Mage Ascension and Mage Awakening system, where you can have, I have these spheres and I want to try to write reality this way. We take a little inspiration of that and then put it back into the 5th edition rule set. So for example, you can have the teslamancers that has access to electromagnetism, and they have like different options on each of the levels they have. So from a level 1, you can take, okay, you can do some damage, you can try to interfere electronics, or you can try to overcharge an armor. And then as you level up and you get access to more powerful levels of your own effects, then you can do more awesome things. For example, try to even power down all electronics in a small area. And finally, the third biggest change is the effort system. The effort system, it basically means that all of the paths have these slots similar to the spell slots of 5th edition. Only that you can also have it like in the fighters, in the martial classes, and even in the more mental-like classes. The idea is that these slots you use them to fuel your abilities. So for example, the classic action surge that you can normally use like once per day, once per short rest, In the Draco system, you using a spell power slot. So for example, if you use action source using an effort slot level 1, you only get like one action, like the classical one. But for example, you can use an effort level 5 slot, and then you have 5 actions. We use this to give more versatility to the martial characters, and also to give them like more flavor for their abilities, while giving them a little more balance toward the spellcasting classes to prevent the classic linear warriors, quadratic wizards that we have in most of the RPG systems. So in this case, the martial classes can actually keep up with the different spellcasting classes. Those are like the main changes. We also have like some like small add-ons with the armors and the weapons that you can like improve them. But this is like more because of the sci-fi style of the setting. So you can put like a long range scanner on your sniper rifle, or you can change things on your power armor to give you better defense, to give you access to extra battery, for example, or to different actions that have different recharge times.
Awesome. That sounds like a lot of fun, and I'm very glad to see some changes in line with trying to make martials more fun. It's a problem. Cool.
It's actually quite fun because I as a player usually prefer spellcasting classes, but as a GM I have seen like a lot of issues where, especially at higher levels, where the martial classes are just like, yeah, I can like hit 2 times in a round, and the wizard can explode a mountain with his toads. So it's not really balanced between the 2 of us.
No, it's a
So
problem.
there was to make more options for the martial classes, and with the effort system, both classes feel balanced, because even if the casters can get access to some of the abilities of the martial classes, they have like to decide, okay, I can use my effort slot to use one of my teslamancers powers, or I could use it just to like climb better. I have like to decide at that moment. So it's more similar to an stamina system. Yeah, it's very similar to an stamina system in other games.
Cool. Also, I love the teslamancers. They look fantastic, and you slap the word Tesla on anything, and I'm pretty much in. So why don't you guys tell me a little bit about the universe and its strange alternate history and the miasma and all that?
Yeah, this is like the history is pretty much the same as our war until World War One. In World War One, this mysterious fog started appearing in one of the battles in the border between Germany and France. And in the beginning, it was just like this 20-meter around a small piece of fog. But anyone that entered never came back, just like disappeared. The issue was that this miasma, which is how it was called, started expanding. In the first expansion, it covered like half of Germany and half of France. And this started changing the whole socio-political environment of the world. For example, using the miasma as an excuse, the URS managed to conquer all of continental Europe. So now the whole URS was communist. And then the miasma decided to continue expanding, eventually consuming the whole piece of Europe. So now we have a 20th century with no European intervention. So this changed like how the countries organized. So for example, what was left of the United Kingdom emigrated to the Caribbean and conjoined themselves with America and with Mexico, and they became the Atlantic Alliance. What was left of the URS, because they lost like all the important things were in Europe, and now they don't have Europe. They decided to make an alliance with Maoist China, and now you have this super communist huge state with access to Tesla technology. In the rest of the world, for example, in South America, a warlord discovers something in the Amazon, and he gets psionic powers and uses that to conquer nearly all of South America. So now all of South America is part of this warlord-like Rome-style, Rome-style faction. And all of the refugees of all of these factions, they went to the part of Australia and Oceanic, and they became this anarcho-pirate style of, anarcho-pirates. The main thing is that while all of this is, the miasma is still there, and the threat of the miasma is like a constant threat to the world. So a secret organization that's called the Minerva Initiative appeared, and they were like, okay, well, all of you are fighting this cold war within yourselves. The miasma is still there, so we're going to recruit the best people of each factions and send them into expeditions into the miasma, because we want to know what happened, if there are any people there, and try to solve the problem before it consumes the whole world. So you have like this very faction focus and conspiracy style, but you also have like all the monsters and who appear in the miasma. Because getting in the miasma is not as easy as one may think. You can enter, but getting out is not as easy. Actually, the adventure in the starter set, that's what the last adventure is called, Lost in the Miasma. Because you went there, now you're lost and you need to get out before the horrors consume you.
Cool. It's that sounds terrifying.
What is important to point?
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, it's okay. Sorry.
I was just gonna say I really like the angle of. Oh, sorry, I've got a little bit of delay.
Thanks for having working. Yeah, that's just voice.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Okay. What is important to point out is this: most of these factions that emerged were in the 20th century. Most of them is like relationship, like a Cold War, where they know each other. They're not at war, but there's like this political war tension constantly. That all of these factions are focused on their own agendas, on their own political advancements and technological weaponry to beat like the other factions as well. Sometimes it's also important to realize that the miasma is something that completely corrupts and mutates, and most of it destroys. Sometimes it's something that is mostly unpredictable. So it is like a cosmic horror threat that appears 20th century. So or I think that's the part of the beauty of the Eldritch Century, which I think that's only the miasma is the main threat, but all other factions as well, like might destroy the world, might destroy each other. Makes you wonder which are the real society as a whole, or as a cosmic expansion of the miasma.
Yeah, fair enough. Cool. Do you guys have any other aspects of the setting or mechanics that you guys want to highlight?
I think one of the important aspects is that each of these factions have managed to get access to Eldritch powers. For example, Atlantean Alliance, they were originally called the Atlantic Alliance. They claim to have Atlantis, so that's how they develop the dynamism powers and all the current nuclear technology. And they keep like this like a very close secret. But each of the different factions have found some things about ancient civilizations that they are like keeping secret, but also using them in their own war machines to power themselves and see how they can use it to to conquer the other factions. So we have like this dichotomy because each of the factions, they say the miasma is a threat and they don't want to go there because hellish horrors, but they also have their own dirty secrets of using those hellish horrors for their own improvement.
Cool. Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing this when it comes out, and I'm glad that you guys have already hit your goal.
Thank you, because we're not only developing this the miniatures of the game, we're developing as well as the RPG, like the campaign we have right now. Developing a skirmish game, board game, which you can use the same miniatures, and it's like an expansion of the same universe as well. We would like to make it transmedia, so you can have more in-depth content. Maybe you like role-playing games, maybe you like board games. So the point is to make Eldritch Century a whole universe where everybody can enjoy.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. You guys have a lot of really cool ideas and some really excellent art.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
We have been putting a lot of resources into the art. And we'll have, I mean, after we manage to fund like all the stretch goals for the core book, we have like this idea for many of the expansions. One of them will dwell into the Minerva initiative of this mysterious organization. And we'll also do it in the different factions and the dichotomies, because each of the faction has like its own foil. For example, the Atlantean Alliance, this hyper-capitalist state, has its foil in the Sino-Siberian communists, while the Latin hegemony, with all the different warlords and transhumanist style, has its foil with the Exomad Empire, because one is biologically based and the other is cyber based. So we want to explore these dichotomies in future source books, as well as a source. And I think the final source book will be about the ancient civilizations and the mysteries of the world. Well, that's like a very high stretch goal level. And we hope we will manage to get there. So I'm very excited about that source book in particular. That one and the Minerva Initiative one.
Yeah, those sound awesome. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to delving further into this universe, and it's really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, anything else you guys want to cover?
We would just like to take a look at the campaign.
We had, like, for example, we managed to get like many different invited writers. We got Ed Turner from Fate of Cthulhu. We got Elizabeth Shapraktuli from Afterlife. That was like a very successful Kickstarter a few months ago. We also got Alan Gold, and we are like talking with writers to see if we can get them on board for write from each of the factions.
Cool. That's those are a lot of reasonably well-known names. I'm looking forward to seeing what they put out for this, because you guys have a very interesting universe. I think that about wraps it up then.
Yeah. So join us in the campaign and join us on the adventure. We are really proud of what we're making, and I think that the fans also are going to love it too as well.
Yeah, I think so, and my audience, this is certainly going to be up their alley. All right, well, thank you for your time today, gentlemen. Have a good day.
Thank you very much.